Sneeze came back. Alright, this is gonna be a sewer guide. Or rather, a guide to efficiently clearing the toxic sewer map. So let's dive right in. So the first thing you want to do is you want to go straight ahead from this part right here. Just head forward. And from this point onward, you hug your character's left side. Like, imagine where your character's left arm is. That's the side that you're going to be hugging for the entire sewer, mostly. So it's not your left, it's your character's left. And that changes based on the character's direction. Hi, YouTube. Yeah. There are a few exceptions, but I'll go over those as I find them. So this is the first exception. This part right here, there's this this section shaped like this. This will show up sometimes, and you always want to clear those when they show up. You also always want to clear these loops, even if they're not on the correct side. Those are two exceptions, basically. But you could easily identify them. Now, after you kill the boss, you're gonna run into a dead end or a loop. There's no way to tell which it's gonna be until you actually get there. This time, it looks like... Actually, this is a bad example, because this is one of the few really different ones. Alright, but anyway, after the boss, you're gonna want to do a quick backtrack to the middle. But usually, there's a dead end or a loop like this over here. After the boss, there's one of those and then a backtrack through the middle. But this layout was actually exceptionally bad to show this off in, so I'm gonna have to do another sewer. To demonstrate the retake. Now I'm gonna just do another one in the same take, actually. It makes sense to show the weird exception as well. So straight ahead from this. Character's left side. Just keep doing that until you run into dead ends. There's an no, that's not an exception, never mind. This is an exception, the same as before. This Tetris L slash T. I don't know. I don't know how to describe that. Anyway, boss room. After the boss room, we're gonna have a dead end or a loop, most likely. And we're still hugging the left side of the character. Are you serious? We got another exception. This is really bad. Alright, so sometimes you don't get a dead end or a loop. And you just have to head into the middle after the boss room, I guess. I might have to do a retake just because of that. Well, let's do a third sewer. But basically, following the strategy, the only time you can ever go wrong is after the boss room. That's the crucial point. So there's the exception, the T, or Tetris block. There's a loop, but it's still on the left side, so that's fine. Keep going left. This one's actually on the left side, but that's also that would have been an exception if it was on if it were on the opposite side. Same thing here. And now the boss room. And this time I'm expecting to run into a dead end. Or a loop. Or just another exception. Right? Maybe I was wrong this whole time. Maybe this is more common than the other example where you get a dead end or a loop.
See you soon.
Let's try it one more time. Now, this is already ruined. I'm not going to be able to use this for YouTube or anything. Because it's too many failures. I'm going to have to think of a better way to phrase the strategy with regards to the dead end after the boss room, because that doesn't seem to happen as often as I thought it did. But everything else is still true. And if anything, the dead ends make it harder. The layouts that I've found right now are actually really easy. Because there's no way to go wrong. Yeah, we got another one of the no backtrack ones. Add this to the part of the video, the blooper part of the video, yeah. I mean, I'm not gonna be doing a lot of fancy editing. I thought I was just gonna be able to highlight this and export it directly to YouTube, but now it's ruined. Alright, let's try this again. So this is gonna be a guide on how to clear sewers efficiently. So the first thing you want to do is go straight ahead from this bend here. And then from that point onward, you hug your character's left side. So that changes based on the character's direction. Right now it's gonna be my left as well. Now it's my right, my top. Basically just look at where your character's left hand is. And hug that wall. Now there are a few exceptions to this rule. Which should come up in just a moment. Actually didn't this time. God damn it. I can make so many bloopers with this crap. Wow, a Toxic Cirrus guy. This is fantastic. Yeah, so after the boss room, you either hit a dead end, or you hit a section where you need to backtrack right away. And they look kind of similar sometimes. But unfortunately, I haven't run into a dead end yet, so I can't really identify it for you. I've done like 5 maps with no dead ends, which is abnormal. But basically the thing to bear in mind is after you do the boss, if you take the straight ahead route from the start, that is, after you do the boss, you're gonna want to get to the middle at some point to do some minor backtracking, and then continue out to the side again. And unfortunately, this map had no exceptions, no Tetris blocks, and no loops on the wrong side, so I can't show you those. Let's do another.
Hello.
Maybe I'll just make a really long video. A long convoluted video. So I'm still doing the same strategy. Character's left side, even though this sewer has a different orientation, it still clears the same way. Because you use your character's orientation and not the map's. There's a boss room. Kill the boss, and then I think this one might have a dead end after the boss. This is a good example, I think. Or not. No, this is actually not a good example at all. This one had no backtracking whatsoever. That's just the perfect sewer layouts that you get sometimes. Where you just don't have to backtrack because the middle section is so close together that there's no running back. Poor swimming. Yeah, I can't really make a sewer guide about bad layouts when all my layouts are good. It feels bad, man. So I guess I should upload this as a really convoluted guide to sewers. And eventually we're gonna run into some kind of bad layout. Well, there's another exception. Tetris block, you always want to clear those when you see them, even though they're on the wrong side. Loops you also want to clear every time, but this one's on the right side, so it's not an issue. Yeah, this layout is one of the bad ones, I can tell. So we finally have something to show off after this boss, I think. Then skip the Elrian. If anything, you're making this map look incredible. No backtracking, no dead ends, just a perfect map every run. Yeah, but that's the majority of runs, to be honest. So after the boss, there's supposed to be either a dead end or a loop. This time, we didn't get either. This time we got another perfect layout, actually. With no backtracking. Feels sewer, man. I can't believe I got so many good layouts when I'm trying to demonstrate how to get around the bad ones. This is so dumb. Right, nothing unusual here, just a loop on the correct side. Go left, hug your character's left still. Another loop. Maybe this one will have more exceptions. So here's a Tetris block. Always do those, even though they're on the on the wrong side. Sorry. Boss down. Hoping to get a dead end this time, or at least a loop.
Over here, exile.
This looks like a dead end. Nope. This is actually another perfect layout. Well, not entirely perfect, because you do need to backtrack into the middle here. But there's still monsters in that area. So it's not terrible. But judging by how many good ones I've gotten in a row now, I'd say that maybe the bad ones are the exception, and maybe I'm just remembering wrong. 'Cause I do thousands of sewers, and they all just kind of blend into one for me. And maybe I just remember the bad ones. So there's a dead end. but that's not the kind I was talking about, because I'm still just hugging my character's left and doing the Tetris blocks. Do the boss room. I should get a dead end after this boss room. Almost certainly. Yes, we got a dead end. And then after that dead end, you always want to go into the middle. Like this. This was only a small backtrack to the middle though. And now you're gonna end up at the start. I still want to show off one more thing that's pretty rare, and that is when you get a loop on the wrong side. So here's the #1 best map. I totally agree. If I could sustain tier 16 sewers, I would run that all day. But it takes too much volleying and stuff. Too tedious to set up if you need to use Elder Influence as well. I would rather just Alkin go on a tier 10. Came across Swimming's channeling Beastery and ended up reaching 100 that league with nothing but Gorge and Sewer. Yeah, that's awesome, dude. You actually ran Gorge as well? A lot of people say that they don't like the Gorge. I have a soft spot for Gorge though. And Elder Ring. Yeah, Gorge is really good with an Elder Ring. Rest in peace. And you get so many Lion cards as well. Enough to get your own Lionized Fall Jewel. Even on SSF. Yeah, these sewer layouts have been really good with no bad exceptions, so I guess this video is going to be a total potato. But at least I got to show Spread Your Butter how to do it. I'll try to find the exception I was talking about though. But it might take like 50 sewers before it actually shows up. Oh, I guess this is also kind of an exception. Just this small square room on the side. Because I was hugging my left side here, but I had to cross to get to the other side. Still play on Linux? I ran into some performance issues with Pee-wee again. I would prefer to play everything on Linux, but it's too much work right now. I got it running really well, but then performance got worse for some reason. But it's not the OS's fault, it's GGG not supporting Linux natively, basically. Because I have a lot of other games that run perfectly on Linux, and even better than they do on Windows. Because the operating system itself is way more lightweight and consumes far fewer resources just to run. And the NVIDIA drivers are actually pretty much on par with Windows right now.
Welcome. Fate awaits you.
Alright, I guess if I even decide to upload that as a highlight, as a sewer guide, it's gonna be over now.